today's video with me. I'm Aziza, aka Gourmet Pens. I hope that 2021 has been okay so far for you. It's been okay for me too. Oh, just okay though. Thank you to the pen family for sending these pens over on loan for me to review. These are called the ASC Studios. The ASC stands for Armando Simone Club. And you might want to check these pens out if you have a couple of the following criteria. Your budget is around $200 US. You like interesting materials that are not super high maintenance, like casein or, I don't know, like vintage celluloid, stuff like that. You might like these pens if you like piston fillers, especially piston fillers with ink windows, which I do very much like. And if you want to buy a pen that's been made in Miami. So, good things. We're going to take a look at them and see what you think and see what I think. Now, Armando Simone Club was created back in 2016, born from a single idea to offer fountain pen lovers what they really longed for in a pen. Beautiful celluloid material, excellent craftsmanship, unmistakable quality, and engineering. We believe we have achieved this judging from our worldwide success in the past 4 years, but something was missing. Some of our fans felt left out. That is no longer the case with the new ASC Studio line. After years of careful planning, we are making our pen family more inclusive by opening our arms to more pen lovers who appreciate the quality and beauty of Armando Simone Club pens. I have to agree. I have coveted many of the ASC celluloid pens, like the Bologna Extra and the Gladiatore. Little out of my price range at the time, which is right now. But the ASC Studio line is individually $195 US, or you can get the full set for $975 plus a discount. So there's a member's discount. I will include a link for you to check out. So they're definitely more friendly than the $1,000 plus Bologna Extras and stuff. So let's see how they stack up against each other, and then we'll do a little look at how they compare physically to some of the other pens. First up, we have the packaging, which I actually really like. The reason I really like it is, first, it's very adorable. And it's very adorable because it uses colors and a size and shape that I really like. So I'm a big fan of that. It's very easy to store because relative to the pen, it's not colossal, like it's not excessively sized. And so the pen is presented to you in a colorful modern box that was actually designed by the awarded designer Tim Smith. I didn't know that until I read that on the website. Very cool. And so the pen comes with this little like fruit cozy to keep it safe, and it's got the little clip tag. So very simple. I really like that. We have the actual pens. They are available in gold trim and rhodium trim. First up, we have the blue coral, then we have blue Pinnacle, green Guatemala, yellow Pinnacle, and the very delightful Arlecchino. Very fun. It mimics the celluloid version, but much lower maintenance, which is a great thing. Quite simply, one of the things that will stand out about this pen is there is an ink window, and it's visible when the pen is capped. I really like that. I love ink windows, and I actually love that I can see it. I also love that it's clear so that your ink is not colored by the color of the window. There is a Greek key design on the center band, metal emblem on the finial, and it's the style of clip, like from Omos, that I really like, with the little rolling wheel at the end, which makes it very useful. It's a very comfortable section size, very comfortable shape and length. It's not particularly sharp or, scritchy or anything. There's no big jump to deal with. I really like that. Looking at each individual material, the yellow Pinnacle is chatoyant, it's like shimmery, and I do like that it has some depth to it. It's not just a plain yellow. There's a bit of coloration going on, sort of like some secret greens in there. And I think that the clear ink windows on all of these looks fantastic. The blue Pinnacle is very similar to the yellow in terms of the chatoyance and the shimmery style to it. It's got some darker streaks of blue in there. And then we have, next up, we've got the blue coral, which is very interesting. So it's sort of like a flecked kind of acrylic. So it's got the blue and red flecks, and there's like little small veins of white. I like that. The green Guatemala, which is probably my favorite. I think it's just a really neat finish. It's like a mossy olive green that's clear, and it's got like the ribbons of the same kind of green with white topping. There's the Arlecchino, which is, again, much lower maintenance than the celluloid version, so that's great if you like this pattern. Getting up close and personal with the Nib and Feed. It is a number 6 steel nib in either rhodium or gold, depending on what you've picked. It's got a single slit, round breather hole. It has an Art Deco style laser engraving with the ASC logo and nib size on it. And you can kind of feel the texture to that engraving. Sometimes it catches, like if you use a paper towel to wipe your nib, or it might like hold your ink. So if you don't like that, that's something to consider. In hand, it's definitely a full-size pen. It's pretty large, pretty long, and I don't know if it's just me, but like the ink window kind of breaks up the cap and barrel, so to me it looks even longer. But unposted and posted, it's very, like, it fits good. It's just that I prefer it unposted because when it's posted, it's very long, and it's too back heavy. So unposted is the way it goes for me. Section fits my grip really comfortably, so I really like that. And because it's back heavy, I definitely use it unposted. And then when it's unposted, fits in my hand really well. So if you have large hands, you could probably get away with posting it, but realistically, because of the weight, I think most people would just prefer unposted. The piston filling mechanism is actually a brass one, so it's not a super light pen. And I like that it adds some substantiality to the barrel. Like, it feels really nice, it rests really nice, like in my hand. It works smoothly, it's easy to ink and empty the pen, relatively easy to clean, and I say that because if you let your pen dry out, the ink is going to get all like super saturated and concentrated, and that makes it difficult. The writing sample, not super duper wet, but, you know, decent. If you want to use these for journaling, like, you're not going to have super long drying times. They do offer a little bit of feedback. I don't find them very smooth. They're not extremely buttery, soft, or smooth. And they do have a bit of spring to them, but are overall quite firm. I did a little quick writing here to see how it would do. I thought it was free weight, but it was actually just oil on the page from my hands. So I do find them a little sensitive to oils and smooth paper. My favorite nib is on my favorite finish, and it's on the green Guatemala. And I just found it like the smoothest and the wettest, so that one made me happy. Now, because all 5 of them didn't have the same experience, like I didn't have the same experience writing with all 5 of them, I would probably have them looked at by a Nimbmeister if it wasn't exactly what I wanted. This one, I used high sheening ink. So let's see how it handles that. Oof. They don't like it. They don't do well with inks that are super sheeny because of the saturation. Okay, so if we prime it, you can see the sheen on the feed there. And the reason for priming it, I want to see if that improves it at all. Oh, it does not like sheeny inks. So, there's that. The blue nib is like super, super noisy. It's like bordering on scratchy, and it looks like it might be slightly misaligned. But you can hear it. It's a very chatty nib. They definitely dry out easily. So if you let them sit, they're gonna give you hard starts and skips, and you're gonna have to like re-ink it. That's just something to consider if you are not really into using your pens up immediately, or if you like super sheeny inks. I didn't even try shimmer inks in here. I'm not even gonna bother. Looks like there's a touch of over polishing there. The nibs are available in fine, medium, broad. I have mediums and broads to test. I actually found them a little inconsistent, and some of the broads were actually like the same size as the medium. And one of the mediums was like super wet. So very interesting. Plastic feeds. Not the kind of nib that does well sitting around because they dry out. So it's best to ink them and then write them dry. Super quick and easy to cap and uncap. It's 3 turns and that's it. And it's very clean and snug. I mentioned that I would look at the pens compared to the larger ASC pens. So there's the Bologna Extra, and then you have the ᵖᵘန့éré, which is smaller than the Bologna Extra, but it's still a pretty good size pen. And then we have the ASC Studio line. So the Bologna Extra is huge. It's a huge pen. It has a very fancy filling mechanism, so it's very heavy. And one of the things that stands out for me is the Greek key design on the center brand. I prefer the designs on the celluloid versions because the filling is sort of like, it's got a texture to it, whereas these ones, like the Studio line, is just all flat, so it doesn't stand out as much, but not a huge deal. The section of the ᵖᵘԻÉρé is more comfortable for me because it flares out a little bit at the end, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So the section still works. I don't really have any issues with it on the Studio line. And realistically, if you're looking for a more reasonable size and weight in a pen, and also like a better price, like a more affordable price, because the Bologna Extra is super expensive, and both of the Bologna and the ᵘᵘԻÉré are in the Akkerman celluloid or the Verde, and that commands quite a premium. My overall recommendation is this. I think they're really nice for what you get. You get the pretty material, the ink window, the piston mechanism. I would probably have mine Nibmeistered just because I would want to make it a little smoother, a little wetter, and just more like my preferences. But I've had friends try them and they like them. So it really depends on what kind of writing style you like. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. I'm Aziza signing out for Gourmet Pens. You can find me on the socials on the next page.